You're such an asshole.
You know, Aaron, the problem with moving from San Diego to Salt Lake City is you got yourself several states. Now, there's the state of California. That's where San Diego's looking. That's all right. That's okay. And then you got to go through Nevada. Now, Nevada's a big, long state. Not a lot of people. They run in the majority of the people in Las Vegas. And then there's no, and that's okay. That's all right. That's fine. And then you get into Utah. The first thing you're going to run St. George. Now, St. George is hot. It's hot. You dumb fucker, Clary. You don't know what you're talking about. And you keep telling people to move to St. George. And then it gets hot. They say, why is it so hot? And then they say, because you're in the southern part of you still in the day. And that's all right. That's okay. And then you make it to Salt Lake City. And there you have it. I have linked below to the famous robsays.net. That's what it is, robsays.net. He has a YouTube channel. He is the foremost expert on Utah. He lives in Salt Lake. Contact him for more information and details, but I'll field this guy's question here. But Rerb is definitely the man you want to talk to. But I could give you my 2 cents here. Morning, asshole. You gave me some things to think about in my last request for your opinion of moving from San Diego to St. George. There you have it. I now see a position open with my company in Salt Lake City that I'm extremely qualified for and interested in. Here's the basics about my situation in San Diego. I'm a minimalist. I live on approximately $2,500 a month in a rented house with roommates. Current income approximately $80,000 a year, 50, single, white male, straight, no girlfriend, ex-wife, or kids. Where have the good men gone? They just got, there was that virus that came in, the locust, the disease, the plague that came in that wiped out all the good men? We can't find them anymore. Pursuing romantic relationships is not a priority due to my desire to leave my leftist shithole city that is only famous for its Mexican food and nice weather. Aging parents live in southern Utah and need my help. Do they really? Do they? I'm not saying mine's more of an acerbic, cynical observation about the baby boomer generation. I have a net worth around $400,000 in various retirement accounts. Would like to buy a small house if given the opportunity. Feel free to answer this. What would Cappy do format? However, I'd really like to know what your experience is in Salt Lake. What are the pros, cons? What could I expect living there as a non-Mormon? Video response. Well, okay, for me, what is it? Is it a 4-hour drive? 6? Let's do the Salt Lake. I'm just looking at logistics right now to St. George. It is 4 hours, 12 minutes. That is like perfect. That's the perfect distance to be away from your family and your girlfriends. I'm not kidding. Girlfriends, maybe an hour, but parents, 2 hours, 2 to 6 hours. 6 is a little much. 4, Mom, Dad, oh, there's trouble. I'll be down this afternoon. Mom calls up, do you want to go to the flower and poop show? They got a flower and poop show at the convention. Gee, Ma, I'd love to, but 4 hours away. You got the perfect excuse. They can't make it. They can't bother you. You got a perfect excuse not to see them. Perfect. I got a radius picked out for all my folks. Like, yeah, you go over there. You go out. You go down to Shadron, Nebraska. That's fine. Oh, great town. Great town. Yeah. You like corn? There you go, Shadron. Have them look it up. So I think for your particular situation, yeah. And then you throw in the fact that it's your current employer, they got a job, you get out of San Diego, no more Democrat adults pooping in the streets. Absolutely. Absolutely. So from that regard, it's a no-brainer. Now, then, as to like the city of Salt Lake itself, pros and cons. Rerb, I'm gonna email Rerb and maybe have him do a video. Maybe he already has one about living in Salt Lake if you search his channel. But I've been there several times. I've been there several times. You spent some time in Salt Lake, and I liked it. I liked it a lot. It is a major metro. It has all the ups of a major metro, like Walmarts and Okay, pretty good dining. Um, it's in a great spot. Great spot. You got skiing and mountains on the entire east side of the valley the town sits in. There's mountains to the south, hiking. There's the Salt Lake, which is different. If you go straight west, you can go out to the desert. You're in a state that has the best national parks, albeit you might have to drive a bit, but Moab, 5.5 hours away, maybe 4. St. George is only 4 hours away from you. It's the state to be in. And what you're going to hear, let me explain to you. Say, Cappy, what am I going to hear? I'm like, I'm going to tell you what you're going to hear. Yeah, man, it's 5 hours away. Yeah. There's these group of people in the United States, maybe the world, I don't know, but they seem to congregate in the United States. They find a reason not to do anything. Like they always find a problem. We can't do that. It's too far away. Oh my God, it might be raining out. Sometimes we call these people women, but it's not. Surprised as you might be, it's not relegated to this. These people include both males and females who find reasons not to do anything. And so I would say the naysayers of Salt Lake City or whatever, they're gonna find it. It snows here. Yes, it snows. It's windy. But Yellowstone ain't that far away. The Grand Tetons aren't that far away. Yeah, but it's 3 hours away. Yes, which is close for most Americans. The number of national parks you got within like half a day's drive is incredible. And then everything else that comes with living in a mountainous area, the trout fishing, kayaking, mountain climbing, hiking, skiing, snowboarding, it's beautiful. It is. Now, there are drawbacks, like there is in every place. It does snow. There is winter. It is windy. Right? Snow will drift. It will get cold. Not as cold as, say, Montana, and certainly not the Dakotas or Minnesota, but there's going to be a winter. There's going to be a little bit of traffic. Oh my God, there's a lot of traffic. Yeah, but not like Chicago, not like Milwaukee, not like any upper Midwest shithole. But there's going to be some traffic. Is the food on par with Floridian retirement mega centers? No, it is not. Is the food on par with Las Vegas, which is a surprising pro I found about Vegas? I didn't think about it, but obviously not. Yeah, Vegas probably has the best selection for food in the United States because it kind of has to. All right, but there's still some good food in dining. Then comes the Mormons. All right, the Mormons more or less control the state, county, local. They have their own religious rules. It's a bit of a theocracy. And for those of us who aren't Mormon, it might be annoying. I wouldn't even upgrade it to a pain in the ass. It might be a pain in the ass. It depends on how involved in politics you want to get and how much you care about politics. All right, but I've spent a lot of time in Utah with hiking, really hasn't affected me at all. Your bars close a little earlier. I don't know if this is still the rule, but I remember I climbed Deseret Peak out near Salt Lake. I go to the bar. I wanted to celebrate. It was a great hike. Double shot of Rumpleman's. Like, I can only pour you one at a time. What? Okay. I will have a shot of Rumpleman's. Bloop, bloop. May I have another shot of Rumpleman's? You may. If that gets your tits in the sling, well, I can't help you then, man. But it's a small price to pay to not have Democrats shitting in the streets. All right? You get a choice. You want adult Democrats being homeless, shitting in the streets? Or do you want some minor hiccups and problems about getting a drink or finding caffeine? And I think Salt Lake is so cosmopolitan. I think there's a gay, bi, lesbian community there. So it's not that they're cracking down. All right. There's obviously some social freedoms, obviously. I think there were riots, and just as a con, there is homeless leftist pants shitters in Utah too. I think they still keep them in their pants, though. They haven't pooped on the street yet, but I think they poop them in the pants. But they're like, there's a leftist community over there. They're going to shut down the highway in case, something didn't perfectly go their way at one point in time. I don't know. You're not interested in the women, so that clears out a whole issue there where it's like you got to be Mormon and storing them in. And you might, like, let's say you wanted to like participate in the community as a non-Mormon. I can't imagine whatever local nonprofit you might want to work for, or if you go work for the police department, I can't imagine they're going to say, well, you're not Mormon. Maybe it might prevent you from getting promoted in certain public institutions, but I think you'd still be able, and certainly fraternal organizations are agnostic when it comes to if you want to participate. You don't have to be Mormon to join the Masons out there, or whatever else have you. And so to me, it's a no-brainer. And the other thing, let's just put this the other way, is there, you're moving from such a bad situation that pretty much anywhere you go would be an improvement. I mean, you could go to Albuquerque, New Mexico, and it'd be an improvement. It would. And so I think that you're going to one of the best major metro areas in the United States from a California major metro. It's like you got a fat, bipolar, debt-ridden, single mom, thrice over woman for a wife, and now you're like anything like, okay, any girl that was thin is already an improvement upon that, and now you're going to a single woman, no kids, not fat, not mentally ill, but she farts a lot. It's like, I could get over the farting. It's pretty minor problems compared to what you're facing there in San Diego. And so, I can't give you enough green lights. Now, for more, you send more detail. Email Rob. Rob says, "Not tell him I sent you." But yeah, man, that's like a no-brainer. I would absolutely leave San Diego. About it. And by the way, I'm sure some people in the comment section who live there are going to have their opinion. No to Salt Lake. All the Californian expats are moving in. Right. Okay. He's in California. He's already there. Do you want a conservative Californian to move in? Maybe balance out the numbers a little. Where else you got to, like, this is exactly what I'm talking about. Oh no, it's not perfect. Mr. Angry, Red Iguana, great Mexican place. Not the blue one. Thank you, Mr. Angry. Rurb and I talked about this. You do not want to eat at the blue iguana. You want to eat at the red iguana. It is great. Oh, and by the way, on the way up, stop at Alvaro's in St. George, Utah. That is the best Mexican food I've ever had. You have to stop there. Mr. Angry for $5 again. Salt Lake City had grown enough. It's not bad for non-Mormons. The small towns around there can still be very cringe. Yeah, but so what? Okay. I don't know. Am I in the minority where everyone like, oh my God, I'm going to a community and they're not going to be exactly the client isn't asking this. But if I go to Nebraska, I'm like, oh my God, did you know they're going to be slow and they're going to be dumb? And they're going to be predominantly farmers? Oh, whoa, oh my God, the farmers. Well, check out these guys. I'm like, yeah, I'd expect that. You go down, I don't know, Atlanta. Oh my God, did you know it's going to be hot and muggy? Whoa, hot and muggy. Oh, look at all those crazy people. All right, there you go. More on the way. We'll see you guys later, Toodles.